Yes, yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for the returning Manchester United Arsenal show. Euro 2024 done. Copa America 2024 done. So all of the Mandem United shows and all of the crossovers are returning, and we're here from the Mandem United podcast meets the Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast. Leny Yoro signs for Manchester United. Manchester United beating Real Madrid to a signing. So we'll be discussing that. Speaking of centre backs, Calafiori to Arsenal. That deal has indeed stalled, people. That has stalled. So we'll be discussing that as well. So please keep all your comments and your questions, Manchester United or Arsenal related as well, because these two clubs always in the news. These two clubs always in the news. The fan base always online. Both fan bases always online complaining about something all the time. And I get it from both fan bases. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I hear that 110%. But whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Hit the like button on the video right now. Share across all the socials. That's me flawless at Sarcasm City TV. At Sarcasm City TV. That's me flawless. Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you retweet and like from the Twitter. Please share from the Instagram. And on top of those two things, we are closing in on 12,000 subscribers, people. We're closing in on 12K. But this show is not just about me. Unfortunately, one half of the Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast could not be here, but Tony will be back. Well, we got a welcome back. Not had him on a live stream in a minute. Not had him on the channel in a minute. Not had him on this show in particular in a minute, because he is the longest standing Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast representative. So my Don, all the way from the US, TJ Warren is in the building. Yes, TJ, what are you saying, man?
Bro, I like I said backstage, I missed this. I miss club football.
Yeah.
I miss Tony. I miss talking shit with you. It's gonna be an incredible season. And speaking of trophies, because you win those. I don't know what those are. If there was a trophy for the social media gathering that cried the loudest, Arsenal would win every single time. We need to get a trophy. We need to get just a tier. You know what it'll be? It would be a bust of Egal, and it would just be one tier. That's all it would be. But big up Flawless. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up everybody watching on playback as well. Smash the likes, subscribe. Let's go. Another season is upon us, people.
Yeah, man, we're here and we will be bringing you the show. It will normally be Wednesdays 11:30 p.m. The reason why there's a slight that we went an hour back is because I was on the playback running pro clubs and it was playoffs, so we had to just get the final couple of games out of the way. Warrior J, I see you in the chat already. Tyrell Gunner, see you in the chat too. Big up AJB certified TJ. Did raid earlier. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Links underneath in the description. TJ Warren TV. I'm gonna add it back. Don't worry about that, people. I'm definitely gonna add his link to the title. But TJ, we'll start with your mob. Don't worry, you lot. We will get to Leny Yoro and signing. So Warrior J, big up for writing all the information in regards to Leny Yoro. But Calafiori had a decent Euros, was linked to Arsenal. Well, now the deal has stalled. So I actually don't know your thoughts fully on Calafiori as a player. Do you think it's a good signing? Not most people I've seen talk about it say they understand the signing, can play centre back, can play left back, not the most expensive. So yeah, thoughts and everything that's going on.
From and I think I said this on a Q&A. I don't know. I've never seen this guy play a match of football. And I'm not going to go out and watch a couple of comps and then pretend like he's the best thing. He's the next Maldini. Like let's relax here a little bit. I like the signing because of the versatility. I don't think we have enough coverage at the center back position, and he can play left back. We have been suffering because we have not had a consistent left back. I think the team suffers because we don't have a consistent left back. And like our younger players suffer as a result as well. I think Martinelli, the fact that we kept switching in and out on left backs, you got Zinchenko back there, you had Kiwior back there, you had for 45 minutes you had Yuri and Timber back there last season, right? So I think that inconsistency back there definitely affected Martinelli. Trossard, I think, is a little bit more technically gifted than Martinelli is, and he handled it a little bit better. But it's something that Arsenal need. I don't think it's our number one priority, but if we can get coverage back there for a decent price, I'm not gonna complain. I'm really not. And you know, if you get an injury to a Gabriel, if you get an injury to a Saliba, from what I've heard of this guy, he would be a better option than, you know, slotting in a Kiwior there, which obviously, you know, this move, if it does happen, will make Kiwior a surplus to requirements and he will go out. I think part of what Arsenal is trying to do and where the deal is getting stuck is that we're trying to send Kiwior the other way on top of all the other financial BS that's going into it. And I don't think Bologna are having it. So are you aware of what's going on with the fight? We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah. Explain again, because you did explain.
Yeah.
But explain again, because I'm still confused. So let me know. And Steve's saying this as well, because Steve's been saying this. And as much as it pains me to admit it, Steve is a phenomenal content creator, and he normally calls these things spot on. Like, Steve can remove his emotion from where a player is at and give and say, no, this player is very good. No, this player is very bad. Or this player fits your club, or he doesn't fit your club. So shout out to Strasbourg, Steve, every single time. I see you lot in the chat, big up. But yeah, explain what the problem is, because so I've never heard of this happening before ever.
And I read this in a few different spots. So just let me know if you guys are seeing or hearing anything different. So Calafiori used to play for FC Basel. Before that, he had never gotten called up to the Italian team. He was not valued as highly as he is now. Bologna went in, they bought him with a sell-on clause, a fixed sell-on clause. So he plays one season for Bologna. His stock goes through the roof during the Euros. And now Arsenal are interested and they want to buy him at, I think the initial bid was like 43. I think that's what they agreed on. But he played. So when he got moved to Bologna, and Steve, keep me honest here, when he got moved to Bologna, there was a fixed sell-on clause. But now that his value has exploded through the roof, they want to change the percentage of the sell-on clause to like 50%.
Okay, because I've never heard of a club. I don't think this has ever happened to my knowledge. I've been watching football a long time, seen a lot of transfers where a player sold a player. There's been a percentage, there's been a sell-on clause, like we get 20%, for example.
You get 20%, right.
I've never heard of it where the selling club has negotiated into that deal. Or if such and such happens, we can bump it up to 30%, 40%, 50%. I've never heard of this.
The problem. I've never heard of that happening. And the fact that Basel wants to do that now, that Arsenal are interested or sniffing around, they're looking to get another 15, 10 million out of this deal. And now the problem is that Bologna is now going to try to pass that on to Arsenal, which will make his value or the transfer ask go through the roof. I mean, we're talking 60, 70 million for a guy who has not played in a league like the Premier League before. And really, and honestly, we talked about this before. Unless your name is Judge Mo or Strasbourg Steve, you didn't freaking watch this guy before. So everybody figured out
Mo, Strasbourg Steve, Kaneki. They're the four that I will say. Like, I'm not hearing from anybody else in regards to him, unless you are a Serie A fan or you might be outsider. But I call them aliens. You know what I'm saying? When they say them, and I mean that in a complimentary fashion. So when I say you haven't watched him, that's excluding those four. Because I refuse to believe you've sat down and watched Bologna week in, week out in Serie A. You watched the mid-table. I believe they finished mid-table Serie A club, but okay.
Yeah.
We move.
Yeah, exactly. We move. So what am I supposed to say? Like, I'm not going to go out there and say after watching a couple of comps and be like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be the next Paolo Maldini. No, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to trust that he can fill in the gaps on our back line that we obviously have. You know, if a Gabriel goes down or a Saliba goes down, you fill him in there, and hopefully he can do a job. Now, what I am not wanting to see Arsenal do is pay way over the asking price, which is going to happen because FC Basel, as Strasbourg Steve is saying in the chat, are obviously having financial problems. So they're trying to get an extra 10, 15 million out of the deal, and Bologna aren't having it, Arsenal aren't having it. So it's stalled out, and I wouldn't be surprised, Flawless, if it just completely falls through. Because because it's too much to be asking for that caliber of a player when we need, in my opinion, we need a 6. We obviously need a striker. Please, for the love of God, please bring me a striker. There are other positions that we need to prioritize. And if we're going to concentrate on spending $50 million on a left back or a center back that we know, won't play game in and game out. What he's
more of a squad player, like you said, to cover and things of that nature.
No, exactly. So I'm just saying, like, $50 million for a squad player. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Some people get centre backs to start for 52 million, but hey, this is a whole different conversation. But big up to everyone that is tapped in. Over 40 of you in the building. How many likes are we at? We are at 28 likes. Let's get up to 40 likes, people. Like check 1212. Continue to share across the social. Subscribe, because we're just over. I think it's we're like 110 away or 105 away from 12K people. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so we can do this 12K party before the season starts. Because once the season starts, it's going to be very tough to do the 12K party. But obviously, you don't know, I will bring you one regardless. Big up Strasbourg Steve. He said Bologna finished 5th. I didn't know they finished that high up the table. All right, first. Shout out to Pels as well. Corey B says, to be fair, I watched Bologna a lot last season because I love Motta and Xerxes. First, then you're an exception. Well, the point I'm making is that most people talking about it like in depth. Now, you can give your thoughts on a player, of course, having watched the player, because you can just see attribute-wise. All right, he's good at this. Technically, he's very good. Or he has great physical attributes, or mentally in regards to his positioning is very good, or he's very aggressive, for example. But I hear all of that. So Calafiori, you're not willing to, because what is the actual price point you lot have offered? Like, what is the rumors? What's
it was mid 40s. I think it was 43 with $4 million in add-ons.
You don't want to see you lot pay like 60 M's for him.
60, 70 M's. Nah, count me out. I mean, the only concern I have about that is that we should be spending money on a 6. We should be, and yes, Steve, I am aware that we are not going to buy a striker. I'm aware of that, but I'm still going to voice.
You don't think you're going to buy a striker?
No.
Even if it's not a good striker. Why? Do you think Nketiah and
Nketiah, Jesus, and
I forgot who the other striker. So you don't think you get rid of Nketiah?
I don't think anybody wants him at the price we're asking for. What was it? Like, we've been off for a while, so I don't even know if we talked about this. Freaking Edu's asking $50 million for Eddie Nketiah. Are you taking the piss? To quote you, drugs must come cheap where you live. If you think anybody is going to come sniffing around for Eddie Nketiah, who has been hanging his hat on a hat trick against Sheffield United and a hat trick against Sunderland 2 years ago, and the brace against Man United. Other than that, he's been shit. He's awful. Like, he has been eating off of 3 games for 3 years. He wants $50 million for him. And let's be honest, who was Nketiah really linked to? Crystal Palace? Okay, maybe. Those died very, very quickly. Ipswich Town, who you would presumptuously who would be looking for a striker, you would think, a Premier League level striker, they don't want to go anywhere near this guy. So what are we talking about here? We will be lucky to get him out the door and get 25. I think that would be a lot, especially with English tax.
Yeah. Hey, because I already seen the meme word to Chris Tucker from Rush Hours, and it was like $50 million. Who you think you got? Chelsea Clinton. That's it. I seen that gift. Yeah, that was no surprise. Hey, if you not seen Rush Hour, dollars, you got Chelsea Clinton. Like, of course, if you not watch Rush Hour, you won't get that joke.
Oh my God.
I seen that meme. You know what I'm saying, I did see that meme. $50 million.
I was doom scrolling in the middle of the night and just started chuckling. Woke my wife up when I saw that one. That was fucking hilarious.
That's funny. Chelsea. I mean, not Chelsea Clinton. Nketiah, 50 M's. But I spoke to Troops about this because he was like, he was just like, there's no way we're getting this. Do you think they're trying to start at a high price to then try and get 25 million or 30 million for him?
It's a PR move. You would have to be on all sorts of substances to think that this guy, seriously think this guy is worth 50 million. One, I think it might be an ego boost to the player, and 2, it shows that we're not serious about getting rid of him. I think that Edu and Mikel Arteta still think we can squeeze something out of this turnip, and I stopped Yes, it is 37 M's. Oxlade
Shout out,
Chamberlain.
pals.
Shout out Pella. Yeah, Oxlade Chamberlain. But yeah, no, if you think you're going to get 50 M's out of this guy, you're crazy. But I think that it's probably number one, they want to show the player that they're invested in him. I mean, they put 14 on his back. I don't think they're willing to say, okay, well, this is a project that we definitely failed on. I think that they're hesitant to do that, which, when his value is 0 and he leaves on a free, when we could have gotten 25 million from him, I'm going to be like, what business are we doing? Oh yeah, it's the Arsenal way of doing business, where we hang on to players long enough until they are below whatever value protection. I put that in quotes. Whatever value you think we have attached to them, and we hang on to them long enough to where, they're not worth anything. So, like, prime example, Aaron Ramsdale. I've said this over and over and over again, so I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record.
It's cool,
but
man.
if we would have sold Aaron Ramsdale back in January, when we knew we weren't going to retain his services as a number one keeper, we probably could have gotten 50 million for him. We, like, those links to Chelsea, at that we were serious. And at that point, Chelsea could have used a goalkeeper. And if we would have freaking pushed on it, we could have sold him. But now he's a backup keeper. His stock has absolutely plummeted from the Brentford fuck ups to the Iceland loss to the fact that he's not trusted in the England team. So now, how much do you realistically think we could get for an Aaron Ramsdale? When we probably could have gotten 50 before, we're getting 30 now, maybe. And he's
30 M's is good. That's good business stuff.
Here's the thing. What would have been good? My gripe here is what would have been good business is selling him earlier.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah.
Because at this point, here's the thing: what games would he realistically would have started after January? Like, we were already out of the Carabao Cup. He would have played the match ties against Brentford. That's it. That's it. The rest of the games,
the FA Cup game, that's it.
FA Cup maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, when we were at Flawless, we were out of the FA Cup in January.
Yeah, you went out early to Liverpool, wasn't it?
We went out to Liverpool. So why throw Carl Hein in against Brentford if Reyes Cup tied? Get the 50 M's for Ramsdale, and that's good business. That's good business. But good business isn't in the dictionary for Edu Gaspar. It's just not. It's just not. I've given up. I've given up on this guy. When people say, "Oh, TJ, have you given up on striker?" Yes, of course I have, because my fan base has lifted up Kai Havertz to the point where we think he's going to be the German Thierry Henry. You talk, see, and here's the thing: is you're an op, and you love to see it. You're like, yeah, bring it on. Kai Havertz in the 9 all fucking year. Bring him on, and he'll get 15 goals in all competitions, and everybody, woo, yeah, we got him. It's just like, put the 14 on his back. Why? So we can embarrass ourselves more? It's like, come on, guys. Like, let's be real. We know what we needed. We're not going to go out and get it. And we're going to compete for the title. Yeah, of course we're going to compete for the title. The rest of the Premier League is meh. We are going to compete again. We'll get second or third, and we're going to be on this train again. I'm going to be talking to you, Flawless. I'm going to be a lot grayer. Probably a lot fatter. July 17th, 2025, and we are going to be talking, about the same
thing. Yeah. I've said it before, man. The only person called Kai if he ain't got a monkey called Bubbles with him, I don't trust him. Just to clarify, Dragon Ball Z reference for those that don't know. If you not watch Dragon Ball Z, that's on you. Just to clarify. Shout out to King Kai, the real Kai. Yeah, I didn't know that you were so convinced that you are definitely not signing the striker, because that seems high on the priority list. It's just a question of who the striker is, whether it's an Ivan Toney or whether it's somebody else.
I don't think so. I just don't think that Arteta. It's a sunk cost fallacy, right? Or the failure to realize that it's a sunk cost. So Kai Havertz, they have invested a ton of money into this guy in weekly wages. Yeah, 60 M's, transfer fee. We got washed in that one. That's fine. But we're paying this guy 200 bags a week. And you cannot sit somebody on the bench that you are paying 200 bags unless you're Man United and your name's Marcus Rashford. You're not going to sit this guy on the bench. And I think that's where Arteta's head is at. So I don't think, he did a good enough job to stay in the squad. I am a lot less harsh on Kai Havertz than I was this time last year. I thought when he was called upon, most of the time he did a job. Is it good enough to win a title though? That's the question. And the answer is no.
Nah, he's not.
He's not good enough.
We signed him because that's not, people actually like to do revisionism on Kai Havertz when he was playing. Oh, he's going to be signed to play in this midfield 8. He's not a midfielder.
No,
he's a striker and a bang average one at that, but he's an even worse midfielder because he's not a midfielder.
Well, no, and exactly. And then here's another reason why I don't think they're going to do it is because you bring in a striker that can consistently finish. What do you do with Kai Havertz?
Bench, squad,
squad, which we know Arteta is not going to do unless his hand is forced. Like we needed several bad performances from Kai Havertz before he was sitting bench. Several. And then it took the Jesus injury for him to come back and start getting regular time again. So I don't think that's another reason why I don't think it's going to happen, Flawless, is because we bring in a 9, he's going to try to ham fist or shoehorn freaking whatever metaphor you want to use Kai Havertz into the midfield again. And we've seen that he cannot do it. He cannot play that left-sided CM at all. He's awful. He looks uncomfortable there. And what we've seen from this starting 11, what we see in the starting 11, and how do I say this? The formation that we see the best version of Arsenal, in my opinion, is a 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
Double pivot 6 with a left-sided 6 that can break the lines. And we're going to depend on Declan Rice to do that, which don't get me started on that.
Oh, we're going to talk about Declan Rice.
Yeah, we can talk about Declan Rice.
I'll give you a break. We'll go to United in the second career.
Yeah. I just don't trust putting him in a double pivot 8 or putting him in a 10 type scenario to where you're expecting him to make a play or to feed a 9 or to contribute offensively, because he did not do that very well last season in that 8 position. It didn't work. We can't do that again. So that's why I think that he's going to keep him at the 9 and hope that he performs, hope strategy, and we'll see what happens. But minimum, we need another 6. Minimum, in my opinion, we should have gotten a striker. We're not going to do it.
And when you say 6, starting 6 alongside Rice, would you like to see?
Correct.
Okay, first.
So I mean, but the market for that isn't good. I mean, name me a good 6 that's on the market right now.
It depends what you're looking for, but it is tough to. There's no standout candidates that I look. Yeah. Oh yes, go and get such and such.
Mine was my call out was like for a Polina or a Gimmerish. And we know that Newcastle aren't going to get rid of Bruno, and that's why I was crying out for Polina 2 years ago, and now he's going to Bayern Munich, and we missed out on him. So now we're going to depend on Thomas Partey, who can't stay off of the freaking medical table, and we're going to depend on Jorginho, who's slower than a freaking oil tanker turning around if the ball gets past him. Like it's peak, man. It's not good. And here's the thing: is like I don't mean to be like, oh yeah, every day is a disaster for Arsenal. But how am I supposed to feel positive going into to another season with the same team we got second with last season, and we have to play more games? Like what? And we can't depend on our bench. Who's on our bench? Fabio Vieira. Okay, yeah. Can't wait for him to be an impact sub for 3 games, get a red card, and then we don't see him because, let's be real, Mikel Arteta doesn't rate him. Okay? And then we got Emile Smith-Rowe. He's probably leaving. He's linked to Fulham.
Yeah, they were talking about it in the chat about
Yeah.
40
No, I
million
saw
was
that
it
earlier.
before?
40
Yeah, they were
million.
talking about
40
areas,
million.
bro. This is from Steve. Eddie wants 40 million for Emil Smith Rowe. It's madness. I like it, Smith Rowe, but he ain't worth that much. Only
Is that
one
with
from your
English
bench I
tax?
look at.
Is that the English tax though factoring into that?
Probably. The only one
Yeah.
I would say that of your bench I look at is Trossard. He's the only one.
Yeah.
Trossard. He's the only
Trossard.
one I look at and go, yeah.
Yeah, Trossard, and like if you need a speed merchant on the right, like Reese Nelson can go in there and try really hard. But you know, again, like in terms of impact, like it's him, and like if you start party, then maybe Jorginho can go in there and do a job. But Jorginho isn't going to come in there and go game in, game out.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
He can be a good squad player. I think Jorginho is a good squad player.
Yeah.
But people really don't rate him for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but people are not fans of Jorginho whatsoever. Like people who don't rate him, that's what I'm saying. There's no. It's like
Jorginho. Give me Jorginho 5-6 years ago, and
I hear that.
I'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He was better 5-6 years ago, but I still think he's just okay. But that's just me. But people really just like, get rid of him. So I'm like,
I'm not saying get rid of him, but he can't be our number one option. That's
that I agree with. Squad player. Yeah, that's fair. No, and shout out to Pels. She said Arsenal's phase 5 is going to be a wild ride, and we will be here, people. We will be here. TJ, Tony, myself, all of you lot in the chat will be here for phase 5 of Arsenal Football Club. We will be here and see whatever. And don't worry, I will be getting special guests on over the summer during the season as well on this show. You may even see Veta make an appearance, and we do the crossover. Man them City, Man them United, gonna talk from the Arsenal pods like we did last year, people. It is those
are always lit shows for sure.
Yeah. I said it to Veta yesterday. I was like, we're definitely gonna do more of those, and he was like, yeah, definitely. I said it. Yeah, it was after the show. I said it to him. Let's see what's going on here.
Here we go.
Turning to Manchester United. You know what I'm saying? Getting centre backs into the football club. Leny Yoro to Manchester United. Here we go. Deal in place after first part of medical completed. More tests to follow. Then he's ready to sign 5-year deal valid until June 2029. So 5-year deal. Leo and Manchester United have all documents set for deal worth 50 million euros plus several add-ons. So 50 million euros, that is less than 50 million. I think that's like 42 million pounds, I would say. Leny Yoro medical taking place as we speak. Once done today / tomorrow, Manchester United contract will be signed. 5-year deal plus option to extend by 12 months. 18-year-old decided last night to accept move. So all I will say is I've spoken on Leny Yoro many times. I know there'll be more questions. Don't know a hell of a lot about him, but from people who I know who watch him, from the chat, from I see on social media, the way rivals are talking about, I always pay attention to how rivals react to Manchester United signing players. And I've seen rivals very unhappy about this, which is what I like. Seeing rivals unhappy about it. I've seen rivals saying we got a good player. See other rival fans saying how we pay too much. And I'm like, all right, there's something to this. Again, like I said, not watched him week in, week out. Here, and Aaron was mentioning this, that in France, he's seen as the next big thing. They look at him and go, he's one of those. I already know without watching him 2 things. 1, he's better than Harry Maguire, and 2, he's better than Victor Lindelof. That I can guarantee you already. So he's an improvement.
Yeah,
he's an improvement because he cannot be, even if he's bang average, he's better than those 2. Just being athletic, just being tall, just being good in the air, being technically good, being able to play right back as well. You are 110% better than what we have. He starts week in, week out for us, I think, because when he was linked and it was him and DeLit, that was the whole conversation. It was both. Then it turned into it was one or the other. And why I think Manchester United, because Warrior J asked me thoughts on the deal and were you surprised about Yoro going to United? Yes, because Real Madrid rarely get beat to a player. When Real Madrid go in for a player, normally they get said player, especially when it's a young prospect and you look at the French talent they have there. Like you look, Tchouameni's there, Camavinga's there, Varane has been there, Zidane's been there. Like that tells you, and I could list more. But that's just 4 players off the top of my head. So normally they do. So I'm a surprised, yes. But what I think Manchester United did was offer him first team football, which Real Madrid can't. Do I believe he's Real Madrid bound? If he's as good as people think he is, yes, he is. But what I also like is 5-year deal with an option to extend by 12 months. So if Madrid do come knocking, which they will, let's say it's 2028 and he's balled out for Manchester United, and he's one of the best centre-backs in the league, and he's one of the best centre-backs in Europe, we can then command a fee of 100+ million. The way the market's going, it might be 150 million, which might be regular for players. The way the market is inflating and prices are going up and up for players. So yeah, with Yoro, like the deal. Deal got done swiftly. Deal got done efficiently, very, very efficiently. Like that. Zero complaints in regards to that. Seems like he's a good player. My concern when we was linked with Delit was him playing next to Martinez and the lack of athleticism and the lack of pace. Yoro kind of answers that. He seems like a good fit for Alessandro Martinez, which I also like too. And I mentioned it already, him also being able to play right back. So people have said, oh, I don't like the fact that he's 18. To me, is he good enough? Forget whether you're 18, because we could have signed someone who's 10 years older at 28. And if you can be experienced and no good. How old's Harry Maguire? How old's Victor Lindelof? These men are full of experience. But guess what? No good. Not good enough for where Manchester United are trying to go. So yeah, Euro, good deal on paper. I like it. Like Z saying here, he's a generational talent. I don't know about him, but I like this type. I can't remember the last player we signed where people were saying, oh, he's a generational talent. Oh, you got one. He's a steal.
Yeah.
Because if he's anywhere near the level that people are talking about, 50 million, or let's say he gets the add-on 60 million, is a steal. It's what we paid for Mount. It's what Arsenal paid for Havertz. So it puts it into context. Like when you look at bad deals, and big up Fox Williams as well, says bless up Flawless from Toronto, broski. Big up, man. Everyone from all across the globe, man. Shout out to everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. And let's see. Yeah, Warrior J said that Euro's good in the air is what we need. Because Martinez, even though he's not the tallest, is decent in the air. But that's just me. I like my centre backs to be aerially.
Yeah, he's 6. I just looked him up. He's 6'3". So
yeah, they're saying he's 6 foot plus as well. So that's good. And to Mohammed, who says Flawless, do you think we would get the lit after Leny Yoro? No, because I think, and this is just me guessing, we got Leny Yoro. The reason why he said, all right, I'll come to Manchester United first team football. Because I looked at his numbers for Leo. He's been playing. He wants game time. It's not, I'm going to come to Manchester United and be first off the bench. So it can't be Martinez and Delit, and then I'm first off. He's like, no, I want to be playing week in, week out. And it seems he's good enough. So we still need another centre back though. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it misunderstood. Don't get it misunderstood. Yeah, just generational is a stretch because it gets used too often. Because if everyone's generational, it don't make them generational. I just can't remember the last player that we signed that had this much hype surrounding him. I can't remember. If someone can know in the chat, like a young player, not a more seasoned player, not a player everyone knows about. I can't remember a player we signed where it was like he's, let's say 22 and under, and people are like, "Oh, you got one." But we'll see. Well, we'll definitely see with it. So, all I can say is I like it. Yeah, go on.
Well, no. What I was gonna say, I didn't want to interrupt, but like cool he's young. He's already. I mean, and I'm reading up on him literally right now. But it some of the things that they're being said about him are the same things that are being said about William Saliba. Saliba was nominated for Young Player of the Year. And made Team of the Season. This kid got nominated for Young Player of the Year, got Team of the Season in Serie A, or in the French League. Sorry, excuse me. I'm still in Calafiori. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like look, these guys eyed a could be generational talent and got it done quickly, which is something that I cannot say about my club ever. So maybe a question for you, Floss, and a question for the chat. Does this make you excited about the direction that INEOS could be taking you in and Omar Barada could be taking you in?
Excited is for me, because I've seen people getting excited. I wouldn't say excited.
Yeah. The X is crazy today.
Oh, yeah. Twitter is moving mad. So I would say, I don't want to say optimistic because that's too strong of a word, but like what I'm seeing. That's what I would say. For the first time in years, Manchester United are actually moving like a serious football club in the transfer window. Like we're actually signing players and it makes sense. We're actually signing players and I go, oh, I see why. Like Leny Yoro, I get it. Xerxes, I get it. Everyone we've been linked with, the left back, the Delit, even though we were like, we're not going to sign him. Agate, like we got linked to the winger from Girona as well. I forgot his name, but like all of it makes sense. Like when I'm looking at it and go, yeah. And the way we're getting deals done, the swiftness in which we're getting deals done, the price point, because I've been talking about that consistently, about price points and how not to get ripped off to deals and how be willing to walk away. Because we would have dragged out this Euro deal, but we were smart with it. Like Real Madrid and Infant, all right, offer Leo the money that they wanted And then I've talked him round. He was Real Madrid bound. The conversation was Real Madrid. Shout out to Matisse because he put out a funny tweet a few days ago. Because I replied to it because he was
I saw that.
A few days ago, he's like, he's going Real Madrid, watch this space. And then obviously he signed for Manchester United. He's like, fuck, I messed up here. And that's where it is. I don't think last season Manchester United get this deal done. I don't think we do. Real Madrid get things wrong, but for Real Madrid to be in for him makes me go, all right, cool. And if he's anywhere near Saliba's level, we're on to a winner.
You're on to something.
Yes, I mean, it is. And to S. Madison, yeah, I can see the different structure, but because we've been so bad, there's so many levels to go. That's where it is. I don't know if I've gone or TJ. It might be me still. I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat. Is it me? Because my laptop's been playing up. I don't know what's going on. Let me know in the chat. Is it me or is TJ gone? Let me know. Yeah, the Matisse tweet was jokes. It was. Big up to Stephanie G as well. It was TJ. I thought it was me because my team was playing up.
Sorry, my internet cut. I don't know what.
It's all good. I thought it was me. I thought I was moving slow, but the chat didn't say anything, so it's all good. Yeah, the Matisse tweet, as you lot are talking about. Yeah, like that's what Matisse thinking. I understand why Matisse said what he said. I won't even say he's right. I thought the same. That's why when I was talking about it, I was like, okay, he's Madrid bound. But let's see, because jokingly we was talking about it on Mandem United podcast, and the Mandem was saying how he wants Real Madrid. So I'm saying, like I was saying to the Mandem, we've all been there in the scenario where you're in the club, bar, wherever, and you approach a female and you're talking to her, and she tells you she has a boyfriend. However, she's giving you the green light. We've all been there at some point. She is giving you the green light or the amber light. She is showing too much interest. She has not shut you down. You said hello, been speaking to her. She told you she's got a boyfriend, but she's still engaging in the conversation. That's what it is. Because I said this about Yoro. If Yoro was so Real Madrid bound and wanted to go Real Madrid, why were his people negotiating with Manchester United? Why would you just not shut that down instantly? I am going Madrid. I am not talking to anybody else. Because if another club would have went in for him, he's not paying. Let's say it was a Brighton or Brentford, for example. Use those two. They ain't pay. He ain't talking to them. No, I'm going Madrid. We've all played football. Most of us, I would say, have played Football Manager. We've all had it when a bid's been accepted and it says the player's agent says the player has no intention of joining your club. Don't even offer him the details. It says it at the top of the screen. The player has no intention of joining your club under any circumstances. So Yoro's clearly piqued the interest because it's Manchester United. That's why, same way with the Arsenal, same way with the certain clubs, even if you are going elsewhere, if they knock on your door, you're going to say, all right, what's going on? And that's what happened with Yoro, and United got the deal done.
The one thing that I think United fans, and look, like I think it's a shrewd bit of business. You guys have been the Xerxes deal was great. This deal was great. You guys are doing a lot of business, and you have a very, very young, talented midfield. Like there is a lot of talent there that, you know, in 2 or 3 years, Man United are going to be back in the top 4, consistently competing for titles. I would be saying that seriously if you didn't have the manager that you have. Mm-hmm. And everybody is getting so gassed up about, you know, Sancho coming back and Mainu and Ahmad and this young talent that you're bringing in. But do you trust the individual who is going to be in charge of molding and developing these talents who do have the ability and the upward mobility of being world class, in my opinion? You see it in Kobe Mainu. What a fucking player. But under Ten Hag, do you really trust that they're gonna get the number one, the attention, and number two, the development that you would get under another manager? And like, what do you think about that?
And that's where I'm at with it. And this is why I'm not jumping up and down. This is why I'm not like, oh, we're back. This is back where. This is why I'm not saying, oh, top 4's definitely on, or the Europa League, or FA Cup, or League Cup. No, because I still understand the manager we have in charge. And just because I have spoken about it, but just because he's here now, so I'm not banging on about, get Ten Hag out. But that doesn't change my opinion of him. That doesn't mean all of a sudden I think he is good enough, even with the Sancho situation. After getting over the initial shock of Sancho being back, what I said was then, where is Sancho getting game time? And logically, should Sancho get game time? 110%. Yeah, but we know how this manager is. And I look at it and I go, if Sancho gets game time, then that means 2 of Rashford Anthony and Garnacho are on the bench. Personally, I don't see him doing
And
that.
isn't
Pers-
Pelistri over there too?
yeah, but
Or
Palestri could be
yeah.
getting moved on. He could be, and the rumors are saying he could get moved
Oh,
on.
he's getting moved
Even
on.
Palestri don't see games like we literally watched last season where it took the vast majority of the season for Diallo to get minutes. And all of a
Right.
sudden he got minutes and Diallo would actually had impact, was actually
He was
producing and putting good performances.
he was cooking against Arsenal too.
So like that's what it is with. That's why I also like the signings, because I think we're going to be relying on individual quality. Because I don't think there's going to be a system in place to help these players. So therefore, I look at Yoro, I look at Xerxes, I look at other players who are linked with, and I go, get players in. Because even though INEOS are doing a good job, which I believe they are so far, because we're in such a bad state, there's still so much more to be done. Because we're a mess all over the pitch. Defensively, we're a mess. Midfield, we're a mess. Going forward, we're a mess. Never mind the goalkeeper. It's like everyone just forgetting about the goalkeeper. and people acting like this manager all of a sudden has got a personality transplant. Like he's just a different guy. And I'm like, okay, I hope to be wrong. But every fiber in my body tells me this is not going to be good. Tells everything. And I said this in regards to INEOS when I was like, I don't trust these men. People are like, why don't you trust INEOS? Like when it was the whole Ten Hag, is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? I was like, I don't trust these men. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how they moved with that. And it turned out to be right with that. Now I hope to be wrong. And we see a different Ten Hag and we start balling out. But I don't, outside of individual quality, I just don't see it. I really, really don't. So let's get quality in. Eventually, if the manager will get sacked if he isn't good enough. And then, but I don't know, I don't even trust INEOS to go get the next manager. Because their idea was too cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing why I'm just like, I'm having fun as opposition. I'm having fun just kind of sitting back and watching this because it's like the FA Cup and everybody, all the Man United creators, you said this, Rant said this, we're saying that these trophies paper over the cracks and they win and even the chat is throwing in my face that Ten Hag has won 2 more trophies than Arteta has. Fine, fair. But are you really, really convinced with the direction of your football club with this guy in charge? Look, I have my issues with Mikel Arteta. Those are well known. We have our own problems, but you guys are sitting on a potential gold mine and you have a blind man with a metal detector trying to find what is going on and trying to lead you to the promised land. And I really think, but when you guys are sitting in 8th in December, you better hope that INEOS actually makes the moves that are required to get you guys back into Europe. Because otherwise, like, what's the point of having all this talent if you can't utilize it?
Exactly. And to Z, and this ties into it, he says, no, it's already been reported flawless by Mike Keegan that INEOS are giving Ten Hag the tools to succeed. And if he fails, Tuchel is the favored candidate. And the fact we interviewed Tuchel lets me know that, and lets everyone know that they're a fan of Tuchel. And to me, it's like, that's really the guy you said, all right, let's give him the job. The guy who Bayern Munich. Yeah, but the list is insert manager name here who I'd rather have over Ten Hag. Is Tuchel a better manager than Ten Hag? Yes.
Yeah.
But is Tuchel the guy? No. Bayern Munich said halfway through a season when he was still on for the Champions League, he was still on for the Bundesliga and said, nah, you're not the guy for us. They sacked him before they even had another manager in charge, before they even spoken to anyone else. They deemed him, I think it was February, March.
Yeah, it
was like, nah, we're enough. And then after interviewing 4 or 5 managers and not getting them, they tried to do a U-turn. And Tuchel was like, nah, I'm not that guy. But Ten Hag seen that as a flex, or they couldn't get better than me. These men went out to try and replace you. Lex made the great point about that. Imagine being with your other half. She goes on a few dates and it goes, these dates were good. I'm going to stay with you. That is not a flex. That's what Ten Hag did. It's not a flex. When Lex said it, I was like, that's spot on. But he seen it as they couldn't find nobody better. But they interviewed another man for your role. That's what they did.
Yeah.
They interviewed Tuchel to come and take it. They just couldn't make it. But all right. Cool. Yeah, all right, sure. And to Denzel, who says development, this is the same manager, developed several world-class players at Ajax. He's brought Garnacho into the first team and has Kobe Mainoo on gas. Completely different. I'd say Mainoo, yes, top quality. Garnacho, decent. I don't think Garnacho's anywhere near world class and will ever be world
Is
class.
this the same manager that developed Anthony? How's that going?
I just don't.
Are we just forgetting about that? Okay.
Yeah, we forget about the ones that don't work. We forget that he had Diallo on the bench for pretty much the whole season. But
whatever. Yeah.
But I hope, like I said to everyone watching this right now, everyone listening, I hope I'm wrong on this, but I don't see too much change in this season. I've said it. Warrior J wrote the joke already when it comes to United watch-alongs. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's pretty much my feeling. I'm not looking forward to it.
If Real Madrid and United are playing at the same time, what are you doing?
Hey, it depends who United are playing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already doing La Liga watch-along, so it varies on that. Hey, if it's El Clasico, hey, United.
El Clasico is going to beat out Man United versus Crystal Palace.
And United are playing away to Ipswich Town. Hey, I'm watching El Clasico. I'm saying. I watched the highlights of Ipswich Town versus Manchester United. But I'm doing El Clasico. I will, all jokes aside, people, yes, I've already said this for those that don't know on the playback. I will be doing El Clasico. Barcelona watch-alongs and Real Madrid watch-alongs throughout the season, yes. Yeah. Flawless, you need to be on the positivity bandwagon with Rance and Saeed. I can't get on that bandwagon. I'm sorry. They're my guys. But I can't. I need to see so much more. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much. There needs to be so much more done. But I am more optimistic and happier with what's going on. That's what I would say. I am, but I'm still positivity. No, I'm just like, all right. But does this change how we play on the pitch? Because Ten Hag is still in charge, and I just have zero faith in him. Zero.
I mean, why would anybody have faith in him at this point? Like, yeah, like
I just thought he won a trophy.
Well, no, exactly. Well, the paper's over the cracks too. Like you're putting a Band-Aid on a broken femur at this point.
Yes.
Like it's you talked to Man United fans 6 months ago. You're wanting to burn it down and start again from the studs. Freaking rip the foundation out, lay a new foundation, and start over again. And these are the same guys that were saying that too. So what really has changed? A couple of good signings. That's it. That's all. You guys still have Marcus Rashford, who's out on an island somewhere. You still have Lindelof. You still have Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is linked, but he's still there. He probably should have gone a long time ago. I mean, I understand the positivity based off the signings, but I think, like, what are you going to think in 2 weeks when nobody else has gotten through the door and you're still stuck with the Dutch manager, with the Flying Dutchman? You know what I mean? So, and
that's it. And Staffy just joined the chat. Big up to Staffy.
Fantastic.
Everybody congratulate Staffy because he hit 5K. So I want to see congratulations. You know what I'm saying? He's out here.
Still a giant waffler, though.
Hey, Staffy, big up, man. I'm glad you hit 5K, man. Road to 6K now. You're going to get there expeditiously. Big up, Staffy. Make sure you subscribe to Staffy TV, people, as well. Make sure you do so. And to Z, who says, I don't think Ten Hag is the guy, but it's a new season under a new structure. Let's see what happens. That's where I'm at, Z. I'm sat and watching, but DJ asked me and others have asked me, what do I think will happen? I don't see too much changing. Oh, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like, you can say, oh, you got to be positive, or why are you so net? Because of who's in charge. I don't all of a sudden expect us to play what type of football we're going to play. Like, I just don't see it because he is still in charge. Even with it, like Yadman Sajudio mentioned, yes, better structure. Props to INEOS for that because you can clearly see his day already, even with the Sancho situation. They was like, yo, you two sort this out. Like, this is beyond a joke. Pattern this, sort this out. Even if Sancho is leaving, get him training, get him in the camp. Like, he should be in the building. Like, this is all types of nonsense. So that's what I would say about that. What football are we going to play? These are questions that still, and even outside of the system and what football we're going to play, most of our players are still rubbish. Our attack in particular is awful. We haven't cracked 60 goals in 3 seasons in the Premier League. 60 goals. We cracked 70 goals once in the last 10 years. Like, I can't sit here and look at that attack and go, Xerxes seems like a decent player, yes, so I'm not including him. But I just don't trust our attack because I don't rate it. I think it's awful. I think our attack stinks. It still does, and we still need more. Now, if we get another senior striker and another winger, then I'll go, all right, cool. Because we need changes. Xerxes alone is not going to come in and transform the team, in my opinion. Not try, because that's what we're looking at it right now is not only does Xerxes have to move country, move to a whole new league, whole new teammates, acclimatize to new opponents, acclimatize to a new league, not only play well, but get everybody else playing better as well. We're looking at him right now to transform out, and that's unfair to him. But well, see, Madison says clear out is a must. Clear out is a must, but it'll take 2 to 3 windows. And here the thing is, as Madison, it will on paper, but I always say this. Just because a player is at the football club does not necessarily mean that a player is at the football club. And when I say that, you can be here just as a name only. You don't see pitch. You can treat it that way. You don't see grass the same way we barely see it in Ten Hag's first season. Maguire and McTominay, we barely see him. Maguire was like 5th, 6th choice. You had Martinez, Varane, Luke Shaw, Lindelof, all ahead of him. All played. I think there was someone else as well, but he's like 5th, 6th choice. So just because you're here doesn't mean you play. Because, and I've said this before, ruthless. Because once players realize that I am not going to play regardless of injury, you know who's making moves? Them. They're on their phone to their agent. They want to play. Bear in mind, this year, not only just this year, next year is World Cup year. Players want to play. Next year is World Cup year in particular. It's like, and we laughed about it on Unfiltered Podcast, not Unfiltered, Unfiltered Podcast, me and Double A, and I made the point of, it's like being in a relationship. Well, you lot are broke up, but still living in the same house. It's like, yeah, we ain't together, but we you know what I'm saying? We're not together, but we're physically together. But, and then Double A was like, yeah, you're sleeping in different rooms, dinner at different times. You know what I'm saying? You lot just say hi and bye, walking past each other in the house. That is it. That's what we need to treat players like. Make it uncomfortable. Yeah, Z, 2026 is the World Cup. That's why I said the year after, the year following this one is a World Cup year. So players are definitely going to want to play. Make that. So that's what I would say to that. But there is a lot to clear out. Absolutely, there is.
Right.
Z says, surely these attackers can improve with Rude coming in short. Who, Z? Who? Maybe a Højlund. That's it. Who are we putting? Again, this is what I'm talking about. Who are we putting faith in? Rude is a bad boy striker. I've seen the vast majority of Manchester United's best strikers. He is the best finisher I've ever seen at the club. I've seen every striker who's a bad boy here, probably bar Brian McClare. So all the way back to Cole and Cantona, leading up to Van Persie, York, Cole, Sheringham. So I've seen them all. Tevez, the whole 9. He's the best finisher I've ever seen at the football club, in my opinion, without doubt. However, he is not a Jedi. He is not Yoda. Can he give him instruction? Yes. Do I believe so? Yeah. Could he give Højlund instructions where he can help him? But who's scoring? I guess Warrior J said it. I said it last preseason. I'm saying it this preseason. Who is scoring the goals? And we don't have a manager who then has a system that sets us up to create. It's not like De Zerbi at Brighton, where you go, their attackers from an individual standpoint are not the best on paper. But the way they play football allows them to create chances. It allows them to create, like they miss a lot. Same way Liverpool did it under Klopp. We all know Nunes is rubbish and can't finish. How come Nunes keeps getting chances then? How come, do you know what I'm saying, Salah's and Jota's and Gakpo's and all their attackers missed chances all last season, but they created. We don't even, if we just had the issue of taking our chances, I would be much less critical and much less worried. The reason why I'm so concerned is because we don't create. Who misses chances for us? Højlund had like, I think it was a start, I think it was from January to like May. Højlund had like 9 shots or something crazy.
That's
like
so
that.
crazy.
He's getting
He's
getting 1 shot per game on average or something mad like that. There was a crazy stat. So it's like you're not even getting in. And we, like I said, these are players ain't individually. So yeah, surely these attackers can improve based off of what Z. Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
No. Look, and big up Staffy. Congrats on the 5K guy. But I'm not even trying to be disingenuous. Like, this is not me taking the piss and being disingenuous. All the backroom structure, all the financial deals, all of that can change just fine. But you still have the same numbnut brain running your team, and you expect things to change because INEOS went in and changed the financial structure of contracts. Like, none of that changes. It's still the same. So until you bring in somebody else who can get more out of these players, how can you be positive or have an optimistic view towards the future? I just don't get it. And Flawless said himself, the 2 years this guy has been in charge, sub 60 goals in the Premier League. And you guys sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the same shit. The only difference is Ten Hag won you a trophy. That's the only difference.
Yeah, and Z says Rashford can get 20 plus, in my opinion. He's an up and down player. I'm not putting my money on it, but I think he gets a good tally. Here, the thing is, you're not putting your money on it because you're a smart man, Z. And let's say Rashford does. Let's say Rashford does get 20 plus goals, which he could. He got 20 plus goals last season, and we scored 58. Because him alone is not enough. He had a record goals and assists the season before last, and we still only scored 57 goals, 58. No, it was 58, and he got 17 of them. That means the rest of the team combined scored 41 league goals. That's just above a goal a game, and this is the team where these are the guys who rely, because it's still the same players. Adding Xerxes, yes. Sancho, I don't see getting minutes. I'm not gonna lie, but could Sancho make an impact? Yes. But yet still, are we cracking anyone? No one's taking the bet that United get 70 plus goals this season. I'll tell you that much. No one's taking that bet. No one's saying we get 75. And people don't realize, but again, because we haven't played in so long, people are forgetting how bad Manchester United are. And I'm not including the friendly. I'm talking about from where the stakes, where it's Premier League and there's actually something on it. And yeah, Man City Junior, yeah, because upstairs is better, but that doesn't translate to the pitch. Now, if we go and get what CJ's saying, because of the new people doing deals and negotiating deals, if we go get some attackers, I'm changing my tune. We go get Ivan Toney and someone else, I go, all right, now yeah, I can see it.
Now you can see
Ivan Toney and a winger, yes. With a Rashford, all right. Now I look at it and I go, yes. But hey, we have the biggest chance creator in Europe, but none of our strikers miss chances. But make that make sense. Make that fucking make sense. Mohamed, yeah, I'm not even going to get 60 goals, let alone 75 goals. This is it, Mohamed. I hate to be the guy, Mohamed, man, that has to sit here and say this. Because I said it, Warrior J was there all last season. Literally, it's on repeat, where I was like, who is scoring our goals? And I keep asking this question. Who is scoring our goal? Who's creating our goals and who's scoring our goals? But I say right now, do I believe we crack 60 goals? It's dependent on this is what I'm saying. It's dependent on who we bring in. Are we cracking 70? No, we ain't cracking 70 goals, and that's not even a lot to ask for. It's not even a lot to ask for. Newcastle cracked. I think they was the third or fourth highest goal scorers in the league last season. Let me actually check. That's and they had Gordon on smoke. Isak was on smoke, but that's it. Like, there's none of their attackers I look at and I go, yeah, you. Like I say, Gordon quality. I rate Gordon highly. He surprised me. Isak's another one. That's it. Let me have a look, actually, and see. I'm just looking at the table from last season.
Yeah, we also
and you lot run up the likes as well.
We also need to fix our horrific defense. Can't be holding 20 plus shots.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, that's another thing we forgetting. I'm looking here.
Yeah, people forgetting a lot. Winning an FA Cup against Man City is like the neuralizer in Men in Black. Boom, you forget everything.
This is it. So obviously you had City got 96, Arsenal got 91, Liverpool got 86, Villa got 76, Tottenham got 74 with Richarlison and Werner. And Brennan Johnson and Maddison out and playing poorly. And these man got 70. Like, this is what I'm saying, like how important systems are. I won't take none of their attackers. Kulusevski, no, I'm not taking legit. There's no one apart from Son. He's the only one that I'm saying is of a certain quality. So they got 74. Chelsea, as shit as they were, got 77. And their attack outside of Palmer is woeful. I'm not taking Jackson, Madueke, Modric. Who else they got?
Raheem Sterling.
Sterling, who's my guy, but who else? You probably got 7 or 8 goals. Who else did they got? I don't even know who's in their attack. That's how poor their attackers are. I couldn't care less. Like,
most of their goals are coming from the midfield anyway. Like, yeah, everybody
Newcastle got 85, which is Newcastle got 85. Dude, like, what is got West Ham got 60? They got more than us with Antonio and Bowen did ball out, but it's just Bowen.
And freaking Kudus too.
Jesus Christ, we saw the same amount of goals as Crystal Palace, but here we are. Well,
no, but everything's fixed because the upstairs is fixed. While the upstairs is fixed, you guys should start trying to patch up that roof too.
Yeah, please fix the roof as well.
Yeah, fix the roof, please fix the roof.
Or
at least wait for me to get out there so I can see the waterfall in person.
Hey, it's a great landmark. I'm just looking here. Palace got 57. Brighton got 55. Bournemouth scored 54. Fulham got 55. We scored 57. But I should be at Wolves
57
got
and
50.
conceded what, 56?
Hey, here's one for you lot. Yeah. Because we're -1. Hey, Brentford, with their best attacker missing for the vast majority of the season and only came back off, they got 56. And they finished 16th. Well, this is the attack.
You guys know,
hey, here's a good one for you lot. Hey, the team 18th, who our mate Steve said was gonna get 10 wins. That's a hilarious clip, by the way. I said they'll get 10 wins. You know how many goals Luton Town scored? 52. We scored 5 more goals than relegated Luton Town. But this is the attack that I'm supposed to. Yeah, all right. Come on, man. What are we doing out here, man?
No, those big signings gassing you up, man. No, it's just it's reactionary. Like I hate to say it, but this is just how social media is. And do I rate the signings? Yes, I rate the signings and the way they did the signings, the way they got it over the line quickly. I said it before, I'll say it again. I wish my club could do that. But I also have one of the best collective starting 11s in the Premier League. They are proven to deliver results. Maybe not, in April and May when it matters, but we could score. You know what I mean? We could score and we can prevent goals. I just don't see where the positivity is coming from. And I'm not even taking
didn't get blocked. Yeah, I can't. So United 23-24 season. Rashford 7, Højlund 10, Anthony 1, Garnacho 7. I'm at 2.
Go
ahead.
Sorry.
That's calm. Go on.
Do you rate Manuel Ugarte? Do you rate him?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like Ugarte. Yeah. Because
I saw him play
in a second as well.
Yeah, I saw him play live a couple of weeks ago, and I was very impressed.
Yeah,
very impressed.
I'm a fan. I don't know why people don't want him. And yes, Warrior J, just to clarify, Luton Town, who are now a championship side, scored 52 league goals this season. They scored 5. United only scored 5 more goals than a championship side. And these are the attacking players that we're going, they're going to lead us to. Sure. All right, Z, you can carry on talking about Rude. Unless Rude wants to get his boots on and play, you know what I'm saying? Like, run it back with the 10 shirt. Like, if he wants to do that, I hear it. But, all right. I should even looked at the table. I forgot how bad it was. I forgot. I did forget. I forgot.
People should probably look at the table when they wake up before they tweet. That's all I'm going to say. We might not have won. We might not have won a trophy, but we finished with at least a positive goal difference.
Yeah, serious.
And you're a Big 6. You're a Big 6 club. You're the club in the Big 6. Could be argued. So anyway, raise your standards, people. That's all I'm going to say.
Nah, I need to just be positive and get on the bandwagon.
No, get on. No, top red flawless. Let's do it. You heard of top red. You heard of top red staff. Let's do top red flawless. It'll be your new WWE persona. You just go out there and be as disingenuous as possible.
Shout out to Sheik, been a member of the channel for 13 months. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well for the members, so you should shout out the show and its host. Very, very glad it's back. Shout out Tony as well. And make sure y'all run up the likes and subscribe to the panelists. Love to my brother Sheik. Make sure you subscribe to Sheik TV as well. You're catching me on the Mandem United podcast, the Soul Mandem United podcast every time also. So big up Sheik. Go subscribe. Not sure what number he's on the road to, but go run up the numbers, man, and get him to his next milestone. Same with TJ as well. Gonna add his link into the title, but it's underneath in the description. So is Sheik's. Both on the featured channel section as well, people. Go subscribe to TJ Warren TV. Links underneath in the description also. But switching lanes from Manchester United back to Arsenal. You mentioned it. Declan Rice, someone who was criticized heavily in the Euros for England. You mentioned also about Arsenal needing another central midfielder to play alongside Rice. So, thoughts on the criticism he received. What type of midfielder would you like to see play alongside? Would you like to see Arsenal acquire to play alongside Rice?
First of all, big up everybody. Thank you for getting. I got to 1,200 on this stream, so thank you for that, guys. Really appreciate that. We've been grinding hard to get there, so I appreciate that, guys. Declan Rice. I'm gonna sound like a top gooner here, but I'm gonna do it at the risk of sounding like it. I don't blame Declan Rice for the Euros.
Okay.
Did he have could he have played better? Yes. But you also have to remember who the manager of England was and the system that he's played. I don't think Declan Rice necessarily has been a standout for England in recent memory. So why are we criticizing Declan Rice for doing a job for his international squad, at least from what I've seen, that hasn't never been bang up under this manager? Now, I don't expect, and I've said this over and over and over again, I don't expect Declan Rice to be anything but a side-to-side true six. Shout out Ariana Grande. I know I overused that joke, but it is what it is. I don't expect this guy, and me and Tony had arguments about this all season long, and we're going to end up doing it again because Arsenal fans expect this guy to be an 8 that consistently breaks lines. Have you watched this guy carry the ball?
Well, you mentioned it there. You mentioned it there. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead. No.
People hadn't watched him, and because he was the 100 million price tag, because Arsenal had played well, because he had individually had performed well, because defensively you lot were so good, people overlooked the system helping him perform to the level he did, because people were expecting more from him. Like you mentioned there, people expecting him to carry the ball, progress the ball. That's never been Declan Rice. It's never been his game.
There were times last season where he did carry the ball, but go look at the teams he was carrying the ball against, and he was making these impacts against. Flawless could have carried the ball up. I have a fake hip. I probably could have carried it 10 yards. Like, guys, like let's be honest and let's not take the piss here. He is a ball-winning midfielder. He is incredible at getting the ball off the opposition and then passing it and then dumping it off to the slot. Like, that's what he does. And I rate him for doing that. I am Flawless. I am glad we signed him. I am over the moon. But we need to use him in the roles that he is supposed to be in. I don't think he is ever going to be a consistent 8 that can break the lines. We need somebody that can do that. Am I going to come out here and say, oh, yeah, I know exactly who that is? No, I'm not. But what annoys me a lot about my fan base, and look, I know I have a lot of annoying opinions too, so shout out everybody out there too. But the one thing that annoys me is you're making this guy into something he's not.
Yeah.
And if you do that, all you're going to do is, number one, you're going to end up shitting on him. Number two, you're going to end up and you're going to end up being like, oh, why did we get this guy if he's not going up there and he's not scoring 10 goals? He's a 6. Like, that was literally a criticism that I was hearing last season, was he doesn't do enough offensively. He's a 6. That's not his job.
Yeah,
it's Martin Odegaard, it's Bukayo Saka, it's Kai Havertz, and it's Trossard or Martinelli, whoever they're throwing on the left. You are not going to generate anything from Declan Rice. Can he and even then he did bang some goals. He banged some goals from the outside. He got that winner against Luton, and he got the winner against Man United. But other than that, what other goals is he scoring consistently? He's not. He's never been that guy. So let's not dress him up to be something that he's not. Because then, if by doing that, you give the Cronkies an excuse to not go out and get somebody who can fill that role. Which, unfortunately, Granit Xhaka left behind. It's a big problem for Arsenal. So let's not. So finishing up on the Declan Rice point, let's not make him out to be any more or any less than he is. Play him as the 6. He will win you the ball in the midfield. Get him a midfielder that he can play with, and let's start cooking. Like, I don't think we had the best midfield pairing all season last season. I think we maybe saw Rice, Party, and Odegaard, like 2 or 3 times? Like, go out there and get a Party-esque type player that can play next to him. And
someone who can progress the ball. Someone who can press the ball. Yeah,
let's cook. That's like, look, and did Declan Rice disappoint? Yes, but I don't necessarily blame him for that, because you're trying to play him as a player that he is not.
That's fair.
That's it.
And shout out to Stephanie G with the dad joke, or I should say mom joke, because she is a mom. She thought rice is a side dish because obviously you mentioned about side to side. Shout out Stephanie G. You can tell she got
That's an expensive ass side. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it depends, but hey, rice slaps. You know what I'm saying? Not Declan Rice, just rice in general. Shout out to Becky as well. She says big up TJ, flawless, top panel, appreciated. Run up the likes as well. The thing is, can he play as a 6? Yes, he is capable, but not a single pivot 6. And you need to play him next to someone who can progress the ball. That's why when he played next to Mano, even though he wasn't good in the final, he looked better. Well, he has his limitations. Is there things that Declan Rice is very good at? Yes, there is. I.e., winning the ball back. When it just comes to defensive, fine. Because he can get around, good engine, athletic enough, fast enough, can tackle, all of that stuff, strong, can do all of that. Problem is when he has the ball. You don't want him progressing the ball. And this is why, even though he stopped asking me all of a sudden, I'm asking him back again as well. Oh, you don't want to ask me no more? Because troops, for those that don't know, are back again. Ask me weekly. When Arsenal were playing well and popping teams off the park, doing bits, is he worth 100 million? I said no. All of a sudden, now you don't ask me that question no more. All of a sudden, when Van der Vaart says it, everyone wants to get onto it. Because Van der Vaart said he's not a £100 million player, which he's not. But people take that. I don't know if it's because it's coming from me.
People take that number.
It's a shot. It's not a shot when I say that. Because I don't think there's many players who are 100 million. I think there's very few players playing in the sport right now.
Do you think Jack Grealish is 100 million?
No, I don't think he is. And I rate Jack Grealish.
I rate Jack Grealish too. I rate Declan Rice.
I rate Declan Rice. But are these £100 million players? No. £100 million player for that. As we see with Rice, you see his limitations on the ball. Yep. And that was my biggest criticism of him at the Euros. Wasn't that he can't do the job. It's because I seen you at times hide and not look for the ball. I seen you not even attempt to play the ball forward. Now, if he was giving the ball away, at least you're attempting to play progressive passes. At least you're attempting to break the lines. And I go, you know what? That's not your game, but it's there. That's the problem that I have. Like, it's like, I always say this, I'll forgive lack of skill to an extent, but a lack of will, no. Just a lack of application. This is why I criticize Højlund for all his limitations. My biggest criticism of Højlund is you don't make runs. I've never seen you run a channel. I see you rarely make runs, and that's unforgivable. I don't care if you're offside 25 times, 30 times, like a Nunes. Hey, make
like a Havertz. Sorry, just gotta
make the run. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Make the run. Yes. Certified says, yeah, why doesn't Troops ask you that anymore? You ask him, Certified. You know what I'm saying? That's true. You ask, because he ain't going to ask me. He ain't going to answer me. He just curse me out. But notice that question just dipped. You know what I'm saying? Same way when I said I wouldn't take Harry Kane last season, and someone mentioned it in the chat already. I think it was Kenny. Big up to Kenny. When I said I wouldn't take Harry Kane at Manchester United for 100 million.
For 100
million. People just overlook me saying price. People say, oh, you don't want Harry Kane. For 100 M's, fuck no.
The market, and you said it earlier too, the market is just so inflated right now too. Yeah. You have to go out there. I mean, we are on the verge of spending 50 million on a left back that is on the 5th place Serie A team and played a couple of good games in the Euros for Italy. And Italy went out in the group stage, by the way, just to remind people. Let's relax. Let's relax. We overpaid for Rice because that was what we were buying. West Ham's legend. That was what we were doing. So let's not gas him up to be too much. That's all I'm going to say. The last thing I'll say on it.
And that's it. Yeah. And the Jesu says flawless. I talked about on here, unless you got a special midfielder, build a cohesive midfield over just throwing in individual with talent. And we seen that's what Arteta did. All right, he signed Rice with a clear plan. I'm going to sign Rice. And I'm going to play him like this with these players around him. And that's why you see a much different Declan Rice at Arsenal than you do to England. Because Arteta is very smart and very good at covering up his deficiencies. Like, that's all it is. But yeah, I hear you just, it's like build a system game now. Say it all the time, man. It's a system game. That's what it is. And yeah, of course, Warrior J, if you ask him that, certified, if Flawless said that, Troops will say, fuck you or dickhead. Facts. No, what Troops is like.
Standard response. It's all good.
Yeah, standard response. Standard response from Troops, without doubt. But like I said, when Van der Vaart says it, no one got nothing to say. But when I say, oh, it's a problem, I'm hating and Reuters. No, he's a good midfielder. He's just not £100 million. That's all. 100 million is Rodri. That's £100 million player. Who's a DM.
100 million plus. That guy's
Yeah, like that's someone you go, all right, cool, because you put him in any midfield with anyone around him, and he's going to play to a certain level. And look,
how many 100 million plus pound players do you think there are?
Let's say Rodri.
Rodri.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. They're all
in the Prem. I mean, and in the Prem too.
In the Prem.
Holland.
No, I think Haaland. I even think Haaland. I think if you put him in a bad team, right. I think he dies.
He dies.
Put him at Manchester United, he dies.
You saw him without KDB.
Yeah, and there's big question marks.
He dies. He dies. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, no. Jay Reds is right. Probably like 5 or 6.
Hey, chat, let us know. Who do you think's £100 million player in the Premier League right now?
In the Premier League. Because
like Rodri, I would say,
be like, oh yeah, Mbappe and Vinny Jr. No, like in the Premier League, how many players would you pay $100 million for?
Yeah, I'd say Rodri.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of anyone else. You know, I think Saliba. I'm not gonna lie. As much as it pays me to admit, I think Saliba's there.
Rodri. I think Saliba's knocking on the door.
Palmer. I look at Saliba. Palmer, yes.
Palmer.
That's one season, but yeah, Palmer is. Yeah, Palmer. I've got to say,
Just wait for him to absolutely cook next season, bro.
Yeah, he's one of them. I'm like Palmer. I could be like, I called that way wrong, but Palmer, yes. Normally, I need more than one season.
Yeah, De Bruyne, no, too old.
De Bruyne, no. Trent, I rate highly, but also no. I'm not saying Trent because we've seen what it looks like when he don't have that system around him. We got Rodri, we got Saliba, we got Palmer.
Yeah. I mean, like you can name and that's why it's so hard. I mean, you can talk about Arsenal starting 11 all you want, but I would only name Saliba as somebody that would be 100 million.
Yeah.
And I'm including Bukayo Saka in that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brains and go, who?
Yeah, I don't think Saka, given his performance over the last year, I don't think he's 100 million pounds. I think he knocks on the door.
Yeah, I think it's just those three in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah. No, if
he was slightly younger, I'd say Salah, because no matter who's playing, no matter what system Klopp's played at Liverpool, no matter who's played around, whether they've had a quadruple chasing season or been awful, he still performs to a certain level. But I think he's too old now. But I think it's just those three. That's probably it. I can't think of no one else.
That's probably it. Yeah, just and age is obviously a factor in there because you got incredible players like Van Dijk and De Bruyne and all these other players, but you got to shave off years in order for that to happen. But yeah, I mean that just kind of shows you how, like, in terms of young talent and young high ceiling talent, there isn't a lot in the Premier League, really, if you think about it. So
Solomon said Isak. I still need to see more, but I'm a fan of Isak. Big fan.
Huge fan of Isak.
I need to see how he does this season.
Here's the thing: is you're talking about, and we're also talking about potential, right? We're talking about, like, come on, Kobe Manu. That kid's going to be a beast. He's gonna he will be up there at some point. Deluded Chelsea fan says Odegaard. No, I don't think so.
Said Odegaard.
Odegaard
and Haaland need to get Norway to a tournament. That's what them two need to do.
Yeah. No, and I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't expect them.
Get Norway to a tournament. That's what because they're good. And I'm not saying they have to go and win it, but some of them qualifying groups stay in. I'm like, you two alone should be able to get Norway.
Two players that people consider world class, and they can't link up to get Norway to a Euro tournament.
And they're two offensive players as well, and two players you look at would mesh well. I look at Odegaard and Haaland, like they're the perfect foil for each other. But
you would think, but I don't know. It's just, and here's the thing: is I don't watch Norway, but I can tell you that you have one of the best chance creators in the league in Odegaard, and apparently the most prolific striker the Premier League has ever in the modern era the Premier League has ever seen. So
because I'm looking here now.
I'm not saying all around, by the way, so don't come after me. But.
Yeah, they can't even make no group stages or nothing like that. It's like it's crazy.
Nope. Bruno G. Nope. Bruno G. See, here's the thing though, is that you would have to pay 100 M's to get Bruno G off of Newcastle, but he's not worth that much. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say because I was looking at Norway's team. I had no idea Oscar Bob was Norwegian. Didn't have a clue.
Oh, I didn't either. What?
Yeah, Oscar, because they said, "Oh, Bob." I was like, "Is that Oscar Bob?" Yeah, Oscar Bob's Norwegian. I'm looking here. Yeah, they drew 3-3 in their last qualifying game with Scotland. Let me see. Did he? Nah, he didn't. Nah, Odegaard and Haaland didn't play in that one for whatever reason. I'm looking here. They got Oscar Bob's there. Yeah, that's crazy. Oscar Bob, what? Did you not know that in the chat? And they've got the
No idea. I learned something new today.
He's the Brentford centre back, Ajay. He's Norwegian too. Hey, big up Jacob for the raid also, man. Shout out United Spurs of America, man. Make sure you lot subscribe to United Spurs of America. But yeah, before we do indeed close out, I'll get your final few questions in, people. Please keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related. Anything else you want to talk about, TJ, that we've not spoken about over the summer?
Oh,
because we haven't spoken, sorry, this summer.
I'm going through some of these questions. I saw one of these questions.
Yeah, that's cool. I did start some.
I'm trying to go back and get it. Yeah, I'm looking at them. Stephanie Griffiths, throw hers on there. That's a good question.
Go on, you go from.
Okay, yeah, no. Question for TJ: if Arsenal signed Calafiori, do you think that Timber heading out of Arsenal, possibly to Manchester? No. Manchester, Netherlands. Stranger things have happened. Well, yeah, no. I mean, it's no secret that Man United likes stealing some of our best players. It's not a it's written in the storybooks here. We don't have to talk about it though. No, I don't think that Timber leaves. Timber will not leave. It will be because Timber provides cover for center back and right back a lot better than I would say Tomiyasu would. I think that if anybody's leaving, it's going to be QVR. Because you bring in somebody of the same type of profile. I think Calafiori is a little bit bigger, a little bit taller than Kiwior. And obviously, by bringing this guy in, Arteta sends the message that Kiwior is going to be a surplus to requirements now. So Timber, I think he impressed way too much in the limited time that he had before the ACL injury. For Arteta to send him down the river right now. So if anybody goes the other way, it's going to be Kiwior, and he's actually been involved in those talks. So what I'm going to say, here's my way too early prediction. If we do get Calafiori, which I don't think we're going to, I think the deal is dead. Just given what I've read, it's not dead yet, but it's like, how do I say this? It's like it's on life support.
It's on thin ice. Yeah, life support.
It's on life support. Yeah. So this is kind of my thought is, Kiwior will go out. Calafiori will come in. Timber will stay. The only thing that I'm worried about with Timber is the ACL injury. Obviously, we saw what ACL injuries can do to Arsenal players. You can go and see Gabriel Jesus there. They're having to drain his knee for half the season last season. Like, that's how devastating these injuries are. So I'll be very, very interested to see how he does in the first couple of games and in the preseason. That's one of the things I'm most excited about is like, oh yeah, TJ, are you bummed about going to see these preseason games in the US? They're not going to play their first stringers. I want to see how Yuri and Timber looks because we need this guy to be healthy for us to have another run like we did last season and the season before that. Otherwise, you're going to be depending on, if Ben White goes down, you're going to be depending on Kiwior, you're going to be depending on Tomiyasu, who's meh, and you're going to be depending on Zinchenko. Anyway, all right, we can move on.
And speaking of that, Jay Red said, are you going to the Arsenal versus Liverpool game in Philly?
I am going to every game except for the Bournemouth one. So I will be at United in LA, and then I will be at Lincoln Financial in Philly. So yeah, guys, hit me up if you guys want to grab a beer or something. I'll be around.
Yeah, kill up TJ, you lot, man. Make sure you are if you are indeed going to the preseason games. Big up to Kenny, says big up Flawless and TJ. Put the fire emojis. Yoro is a top draft signing. He will make mistakes as he's just 18. We need an experienced centre back like Delit who can guide Yoro. Here the thing is, Yoro wants first team. To me, and this is me guessing, he wants first team minutes. So he's gonna have to play. Will he make mistakes? Yes, like every centre back will make mistakes. It's just about the limiting said mistakes. And he's got Martinez next to him who's experienced. And Jez made the point as well. Even though he's 18, he's played a lot of matches. Like in regards to this season just gone. I don't know about before that. I can actually just check. But I know he played a lot of matches. I think it was like 46. I think when I checked, it was something like that overall. I'm not sure if he has indeed played in Europe, and I'm not sure how long he's been around. But since he's a United player, let me actually have a look at this. This is what I'm gonna do. Let me actually have a look and see. Boom. So I'm looking at, yeah, he played 32 league games last season, and he played 9 in Europe, 3 in the Coupe de France, 44 overall. Season before that, 13 league games, 2 in the Coupe de France. So he played 15. So he's had a full season. He's coming off a full season and has played in Europe, which I believe you like in the chat. Let me know what competition were Lille in. Was they in Europa League or was they in Conference League? So it's like I'm all for it. I'm up. So in regards to this, no, I don't think it's an experience thing. Experience, I'll say this now. I think experience is one of the most overrated attributes by itself. It needs to, he played Conference League. All right, first, thanks for letting me know. It needs to come alongside something else. Experience alone is good. You can be experienced and terrible. Maguire's experienced. Maguire is super experienced. How long has he been playing in the Premier League? Super, been to World Cups, been to Euros.
Premier League champion.
Yeah, hundreds of Premier League performances, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, Europa League. Like I said, international level. How many caps has he got for England? Super experience. Rubbish. Lindelof. I'm saying, this is facts. Lindelof, super experienced. Premier League for however long. Played at Benfica before that. Champions League, Europa League. May have won something over in Portugal. I'm 100% sure. Has played for Sweden. I believe in international tournaments as well. Like, how many caps does he have? The list goes on. So just because people talk about Rashford's super experienced. How long's Rashford been around? Played at World Cups, played at Euros for England. How many appearances he's got for Manchester United? Like, I think if he carries on at this rate, he'll be one of our most, like, high on the appearance list. Luke Shaw's experience. The list goes on. Mm-hmm. Overrated. Super overrated. It has to be experienced alongside something. It's not by itself. I'm saying you need something with it to go alongside it. I can't think of a food off the top of my head, but there's certain foods that have to go with another food. Chips. Oh, eat chips by itself. Normally, actually, you do over here, so that's a bad example because you can. You go get a large portion of chips from the chippy, it slaps. But you don't understand my point. You just don't eat something by itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think. You wouldn't go to your local chippy for those that are in the UK and just get a pie. That's not a full meal. It's a pie and chips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something goes on. That's what experience with quality. Varane is that. Super experience, yes, but also has a certain level of quality. Rodri, super experience, we were just talking about him, but goes with quality. Yes, and Muna, ability. People just overlook it. All right, Johnny Evans is experienced, and he actually, ironically, has ability.
Yeah.
Johnny Evans actually play, like, people get onto him. Like, Johnny Evans, I see him in the lineup. I'm like, all right, cool. No problem. And to the Lulu Chelsea fan, big up for the super chat. TJ Miswick, what was the question? Ask the question again, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
If you did miss your question, this is what we're doing. I did try and start some of the better questions as well, people. I will. But we're at 88 likes. There's over 125 people in here. Let's get up to triple digits. TJ's channel, the link is in the title. TJ Warren TV. He just hit 1,200. Let's get him to 1.5. Let's get us up here to 12K as well, people. And don't forget as well, this show, audio of the shows on the YouTube channel, apart from watch-alongs, are available on audio-only platforms. So big up to all the audio listeners. If you have Spotify, people, type in Sarcasm City TV, follow, and 5-star us. You may want to listen on there. You might not want to watch on YouTube. You might just not want to have YouTube using up all your data on the move, because YouTube does do that. So Spotify, follow us and 5-star us. All you iPhone users, iTunes, Sarcasm City TV, 5-star us on there. Same with SoundCloud. Make sure you hit the follow button as well. He says, what's your thoughts on Arteta and finally getting over the line?
I don't think he's going to do it again. That's because there's no impactful change that I've seen so far. I mean, and include Calafiori, include him, right? Mm-hmm. What difference does he make to, like, the overall points that we get over the season? How much is he going to contribute to making a cup run or two? How far are we getting in the Champions League just with a Calafiori signing? Oh, and don't let me forget Tom, I think what's his name, Tom Setton, who he signed from Ajax for $1 million. He's a third string goalkeeper. What is Karl Hein going to do to get us over the line? Besides set bench or get loaned out to a championship side. These signings or lack thereof are my biggest criticism of Mikel Arteta right now and the entire board, is we are not spending money in areas where we need to spend it. So my thoughts have not changed on Mikel Arteta. As much as people like asking and giving me crap about oh yeah, TJ, you were Arteta out when we were in second, because you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I hate to say it, that's not the sun, that's a train. We got run over by Man City for the second year in a row. And we have not changed anything fundamentally that will change that. So, yeah, we'll see. Well, that's kind of my answer on that. My answers on my thoughts on Mikel Arteta have not changed one iota.
First, and before you go, last question, TJ. What signing you hope to see, and what's a realistic signing you think Arsenal will do?
I think we'll get a 6, but it's going to be underwhelming. I've said that we need a good 6 to play consistently next to Declan Rice. I think that's a realistic signing that can get done. What I wanted to see was a striker, and what I hope to see is a striker as well. But you introduce a lot of different problems with doing that, and we talked about that earlier with the Kai Havertz saga. But just to kind of bring it home, like I would love to see an Ivan Toney. I would love to see, and as unrealistic as it is, I would love to see an Isak type player. I would love to see an Osimhen type player, because then you could say what you want about the player itself and the profile of the player or how he may or may not fit into the squad, but at least it shows ambition. It shows that you're trying to get across the line. What I've seen now it hasn't gotten us anywhere closer. It hasn't made me one bit more optimistic than I was last season, because there's really no change. There's really no change.
Yeah, that's fair. And to J Reds, who says, I hear what you're saying, Flawless, but I won't go as far to say his experience is overrated. It's a big deal, but I get you. The reason why I say it's overrated by people, because people will just mention it like by itself. There's nothing in addition. Oh, we need to go get a centre back that's experienced. You'll never hear someone say, oh, we need to go get a centre back that's quick. Oh, we need to go get a centre back that's strong. You might hear him say, oh, we need a centre back who is good on the ball. Oh, we need a centre back that can play right-sided centre back or left-sided centre back, for example. Where it's the way it's spoken about. Like, is it important? Of course it's important. Yes. But Manchester United, we've failed for over 10 years now. Hey, literally, when's the last time? Yeah, 2013. So gone over a decade, Manchester United have failed with experienced players. It's never been under, whether it was Moyes, whether it was Van Gaal, whether it was Mourinho, whether it was Oli, whether it was Ten Hag, where there's a point where anyone ever said, oh, the team is too young. The team is full of experience. We've signed experienced players. So how come we failed? Because it's not as important as people make out. It's supremely overrated. Supremely overrated when I say that. Is it important in the right? Of course it is. Well, quality players are quality players at the end of the day. We just mentioned about £100 million players and the yin and the yang. Rodri's super experienced, Saliba not as much. Both top quality. Both top quality at what they do. How much experience has Palmer got? This is his first full season. And then he went to England, he went to Euros and still played well. How much experience has he got? But people will mention, oh, you need experience. No, you need quality. Forget age, quality. That's what it is. All this youth and this, that, and the third. Like, no, quality. That's the most important thing. So when I say it's overrated, that's where it stems from. Because people just use it solely. Oh, we need an experienced centre back. We have him. Maguire's experienced. Lindelof's experienced. We want them both gone. Luke Shaw's experienced. List goes on. Wan-Bissaka's experienced. How many appearances have these lot got at top flight football? Casemiro, a lot of people want gone. How experienced is he? I'm saying Eriksen's experienced. Mount is experienced. I could keep going on and on and on, like throughout the team, but these players are rubbish. Rashford, I already mentioned, super experienced. Right. And big up to Taza in the cut as well, man. Big up Taza,
man.
He says, yo, big up, lads. He's already on the Kool-Aid. We got the Mbappe as centre-backs, as they called him in France. A back four of Delo, Yoro, Martinez, and Ferdi. Hopefully, would be amazing. In front of them, it's like Ugarte and Meno. He's gassed. It's big up Taza every single time. Yeah, Taza, I was just pointing out the reason why I call experience as overrated as a trait. It's in addition. It's secondary. Secondary. Because people will blame it. But hey,
you know who's experienced and is a quality player, Harry Kane. But is he delivering that quality? No. I'm telling you, I'm saying this, and this is one thing that I'm never. Well, I selected Palmer in like a fantasy league that we were doing over on Staffy TV. Mm-hmm. And when they essentially made him into England's water boy through the group stages, I thought that was such a bad choice. And then he goes in and bags in the final and just shows where you're just like, what missed opportunities you could have. What if Palmer started that game? Like, I don't mean to play the if, ands, or whats, but you play Cole Palmer in some of those matches. I think it's a little bit more decisive.
They didn't have Southgate. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's English. That's the English FA for you. They ain't fussed about winning. If he wanted to stay on, then they would have just let him do it. It's crazy. Flawless, if we sign Ferdi, Agate, and another midfielder or Tony, I'll be back watching Manchester United religiously again. All right, Taza, Fez. Like I said, you looking for, even if we sign these, man. Even if we sign these 1, 2, you said 3. If we sign these 3, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm legit here.
Taza, who's your manager? Say it 3 times. Say it 3 times, and then read back what you just put in the chat.
Yeah, I'm legit here, so I don't get fined.
Congratulations on getting your quarterback, though. That's awesome. Good for you.
So yeah, we moved. You said I'll give a fuck. See, that's it right there.
Okay, all right.
That's it right there. That in the words of Hassam, there you are. There you are.
There you are.
Yeah. I presume he's talking about the Turkish left back, Warrior J. I am. Let me know who's live though. Still, I just checked. It said that Northside is still live. Let me know if Northside is still live. We'll redirect to him because he was saying that it was, but just double check.
Yeah, he's still
because he's doing
live
over there. Oh yeah, I'm a watch that. That'd be good fun. Shout out to Northside every single time. Northside over there cheesing with the gal on stream. He loves it. He loves it. You can't get enough. I seen him on stream with Sunshine. I seen him on stream with Chloe. This guy, I see
Lauren.
Lauren. He over there cheesing. You know
this guy, yeah. Right now, it's him, Lee, Rance, and Sunshine.
Yeah, he cheesing. I bet you know what I'm saying. You can see all his videos and that. Man's fillings and all them things there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Northside. Big up Rance. Shout out Lee Gunner. Shout out Sunshine as well. That's my guy right there, man. Nothing but love for Northside. I need to get him on the channel. But TJ, man, it's good to be back.
Absolutely.
Missed it as much as we did because I missed this show. I really did. Yes, Taza, I spoke on it without going back to it. Yes, I'm happy about how the board are moving in terms of recruitment. Yes, I am happy at least about that. I like what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, I do. But TJ, let them know where they can find you, what you got coming up, all that good stuff. Links in the title, people.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks, Flawless. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be back. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a fun. Well, who knows if it's gonna be a fun season, but it's gonna be an entertaining season. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, TJ Warren TV people, again, we just hit 1,200. Thank you so much again. I owe, obviously, guys like Flawless, guys like Lee, guys like Staffy, and Jacob and everybody for helping get my channel that far. So really, really appreciate it. I will be going live on Friday for American Idiots. That'll be the normal 9 p.m. UK time. I should be on Never a Foul as well on Friday night. So look out for that. Kaz is running some sort of new show. And then Let's Be Real, which is a show I do with Connor from CMO Sports. We will be going live on Saturday. So the best thing you guys can do is just go over and hit that notification bell after you hit the subscribe button. I go live, I just go live randomly sometimes and play FIFA and talk shit. So you guys are more than welcome to join me there too. So again, thank you, Flawless. Subscribe to Sarcasm City TV immediately if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, people. So this show will be back. Well, not be back, but we'll be here every Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. UK time. People talking all things Arsenal, all things Manchester United. Again, TJ Warren TV. The link's in the title, underneath in the description, on the featured channel page as well. So make sure you go subscribe to TJ's channel also. I want to get someone asked me something. I want to get to something. Where was it? Hold up. Where was it? Oh yeah. Warrior J asked me about the football bingo. Yes, we will be running that at a later date. That game is so addictive. Oh my lord, ridiculous. That is super addictive. If you've not people, basically watch alongs. So Premier League watch alongs, all the football watch alongs, NBA watch alongs. Halftime we running that. You know what I'm saying? We running football bingo. That is the MO. That is the motive, without doubt, people. That is the motive as well. Make sure I didn't miss anything beforehand. But yeah, man, again, love to everyone that's locked in. I hope you lot have enjoyed the show as much as we have. We are back tomorrow, midnight UK time, people. Myself, Surfer, and Jez, the returning Man United ballers at the bridge talking that Tottenham talk. So the Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show will be back. When we're discussing Chelsea, obviously they're in the news. Spoke about that yesterday with Vader. Spurs as well. Kind of quiet with them. But I did see Ange to England link, so see what's that. And Manchester United, you never know in regards to what's going on. But we are going to close out. Like I said, going to redirect over to Northside. So big up to you lot as well. Am I doing no preseason friendly watch alongs? No, I ain't doing no preseason. I don't want to watch us in the Premier League. Legit, I'm here so I don't get fined. That is why I'm here. I would have stopped watching us a long time ago, but it's a part of work. It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? It's like having to deal with Sheik. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just an unfortunate part of the job.
You know, you guys think this is all. You guys think this is all. Everybody in the chat, you guys think this is all fun and games, and we're just smiling all the time. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch Arsenal versus Ipswich Town at 6 a.m. Yeah, they do call it work sometimes for a reason, guys.
And to Taza say, nah, man, Flawless, cheer up. You're only watching religiously if you sign 3 players. Man said.
Where has this guy been, to be honest?
Tony. Agate, and he said somebody else. So you're on the 3 players. I got to put up with this during the season, and we still have 10 in charge, but I am not. You have fully drank the Kool-Aid, Taza. Oh yeah, that was what I wanted to get to. Someone asked about Tony. Yes, Tony will be back. He probably won't be back next week or during preseason, but I spoke to him. Tony's good. Just life stuff. That's all. He's blessing everything. That's all. So Tony's all well and good. He's just working. You know, that's all it is. Just handling business in real life. But Tony will be back. But on the show, I'm going to get some special guests anyway, people. But we are going to close out. This has been the Manchester United Arsenal show, Man United podcast, meets the Gunner Talk from the Arsenal podcast, live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.